good practice 5. Obviously, a little bit of heat, a little bit of adversity with that. Obviously, the guys had to fight through a little bit of that, a little bit of anticipation of some scrimmage portions of Saturday's practice, looking forward to that. And then also install. I think offensively we ran into a little bit of a wall today of just slowing down, guys thinking a lot, as we're trying to get some stuff in before the end of these first 2 weeks. So need to clean it up for Saturday. But all in all, we're looking forward to getting out back to the Coliseum Saturday.
Will that be a scrimmage?
It'll just be a normal practice, but we'll have some scrimmage format mixed in between.
What have you seen out of Claude and Delvon so far, and what are your expectations for them this season?
Well, our expectations are we need them to be really good players if we want to be the type of defense that we think we can be. And it's important for those guys to play really physical, to play disciplined. I think we've seen flashes of that from each of them. What we're looking for here for the remainder of spring is that consistency. We don't want them to necessarily flash. We want them to be really consistent. And so that's what we're pushing them to do.
People wonder how you can replace the production of a guy like Leonard Williams. How can you?
You have to do it as a team. You have to, again, be consistent. Guys have to, be disciplined in their alignment, their assignment, their technique, their fundamentals, their effort. And that's ultimately what it's going to take. And to do that, you have to develop that right now in spring. We can't wait for the fall. We have to develop those practice habits and those game playing habits now. And so that's what we're working on.
Jordan Simmons saw a lot of action today at left guard. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, he missed practice on Tuesday. He was sick, so wanted to get his reps back up today. He wasn't out Tuesday, so that was the reasoning for that.
You talked about flash, and Adoree makes the catch on where he's getting pushed and the ball double clutches and all that. How does he have, what about him allows him to make plays like that?
Well, I think he's got really unique body control. He's a guy that, I think he's used to being in the air. He's got such good leaping ability that he can contort his body even mid-flight, which is unique. And then he has the athleticism and the hand-eye coordination to make those types of catches, one-handed, juggling, things of that nature. So it's almost becoming somewhat commonplace when we see him do it.
Talk about the corners that you're using at safety a little bit, and are you looking for a guy that can kind of play both on this roster? It seems like you recruit that way.
Well, I think for us, as we touched on earlier, the safety position for us, and because of the amount of spread offenses that we see, we really have to rely on our safeties to cover so that we can play more man-to-man coverage. We don't want to just sit in zone, but when teams are putting 4 wide receivers on the field all game at you, you have to have your safeties be able to play man-to-man if you want to play man coverage and play tighter in coverage. So that's why we're experimenting with some of the guys on our current roster at that position, and also that's kind of the way we recruited. When you look at a Marvell Tell or a Yakili Ross, those types of guys that could potentially do that, play in the slot, cover man-to-man, but also play a deep third or a deep half.
Is there anything specific you're looking to accomplish before the team gets a break for spring break?
No, I mean there is a lot. I mean you're looking at specific players at at every practice and everything we do. And when we watch the film, you look at some scheme stuff. There's things that we wanted to get in, that is who we are, but also some things that we're looking at to. Do we want to continue to evolve as we come back after the last 3 weeks, which is what spring break is for us, to evaluate that from spring, and then things to build on. We want to get a lot of our base stuff in so that when we come back for the last 3 weeks, there's a lot of things that we've been working on over the last couple months that we think can be really good additions to our schemes in all 3 phases. And spring's the time to look at those things, and we're going to have some growing pains. And the beauty of spring is, again, we don't play every Saturday in spring, so we can struggle maybe through some things on a Tuesday or a Thursday, but improve it onto the next practice, and so that we either can feel confident in it and keep it as part of us, or say, you know what, it just isn't us, let's scrap it and move on to the next thing.
How much more man do you hope to play this year, do you think?
I'd like to be able to be more aggressive. I don't want to be stubborn in doing it if we're not good at it. So we have to practice it. And we've been trying to be aggressive, and the guys are working at it. And there's been good competition between the receivers and the DBs.
Steve, 2 questions actually. Is there an update?
No.
No update on Bryce Dixon?
Short straw again. Poor Gary.
And you talked last week, I think.
Do you
about
think I'd
Kevon.
say yes?
You might.
Okay,
And
keep
you'd
going.
ask. Well, unless you just said he's not.
Nope.
If he's not going to be out here for the spring, then we.
I don't have a comment.
Okay. All right. So, Kevon Seymour, you talked about him a little bit last week after his first couple practices. How has he kind of?
He's doing well. Kevon, I think, is playing well. He's had some really competitive wins on the ball, one-on-one. I haven't seen nearly as many balls getting completed in front of him, which means he's playing a more aggressive style. We haven't gone full live tackling, but he has been physical in coming up and defending the run, which is, again, another aspect of his game that I think he can improve upon. I think he should be and can be a better tackler, and so those are all the things that we've been working on with him.